Hello and welcome to this review of 10 High Sour Mash Bourbon Whiskey with Natural Flavors, America's Native Spirit. Okay, 10 High, introduced in 1934. Now it says since 1879, but that's when Hiram Walker was introduced. I mean, that's when the company was founded, 1879, and then they got bought out by Barton Distilling, and in 2009, Barton was bought by Sazerac, so it's under Sazerac today. Sorry about the noise. That's Terry Paul doing something with a riding lawnmower. Bottled by Barton Distilling Company, Louisville, Kentucky. But I called them one time and they said they don't have any bottling plant in Kentucky. I mean, in Louisville, Kentucky. It's all bottled at Sazerac's Buffalo Trace Distillery. So anyway, I bought this at Total Wine and More last week, and it was $14.99 for this bottle. I gave 750 milliliters of it to my friend David, so he poured it in a mellow corn bottle. He had one that was nearly empty. He filled that up, just took a marker, put 10 High on it, 80 proof. Okay, no age statement. Somebody was showing a bottle from last year that said age at least 36 months, but this bottle does not indicate that. So that must have changed. So no age statement meaning it's aged at least 4 years. It's got this fine grain finish on it, like a fine sandpaper. There are two, the old label of, there's two labels still, or the old label had a drawing of Hiram Walker with his leg up on a barrel. And so originally this was from 1934 to around 2009, a straight bourbon sour mash whiskey. Then it was changed to a bourbon a blend. That's what the previous bottle I bought said. Hiram Walker bourbon a blend. 51% straight bourbon and 49% grain neutral spirits. Now this is the new, I call it the Eagle bottle, and it's the bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. So now they've changed it again. You can't add flavoring or coloring to bourbon, except that you can add flavoring and coloring to bourbon as long as you put it on the label bourbon with natural flavors. Okay, so you can't do it, but you can do it if you put it. You can't do it without putting that though. Okay, that's essentially the rule. I don't want to. There's more to it, but I don't want to go deep into the rule because it gets complicated and bringing up distilled spirit specialties and all of that. But I bought one in Houston at Ralston Liquors. This was $7.99. It's Royal Kentucky Bourbon Whiskey. You see, and it says with natural flavors. And that's a Heaven Hill brand, 80 proof. Okay, so these rules are meant to be, I wouldn't say broken, but let's say manipulated or worked around. And I'll have to do a taste challenge between the Sazerac bourbon whiskey with natural flavors versus, and they may make others like this. This is the main one I know of, and versus the Heaven Hill version. Okay. Age at least 4 years. Yeah, it would probably be that dark, depending if they used a deep enough barrel char. Coming from Buffalo Trace. Okay, so they could be using pretty much any of their other products in this. I'm not saying they do that, but it could be what we call a dump. Me and my friend David call it a dump, like maybe some old Charter or some very old Barton didn't quite come out right after 4 years or 5 years. So they put it in here, added some flavoring like vanilla or something to vanilla extract to smooth it out. Yeah, he's cutting the grass. Okay. You know, these people cut the grass. They don't ask me, you making videos? Am I making noise? They don't ask. Never. Okay. This is one of the few sunny and dry days that we get in Louisiana. I'm thinking it's 45 a year, but I think this is number 12, day number 12 for this year. I've been tracking it in my little calendar book. Okay, evenly spaced alcohol legs. Hey, well, let's hope this is Eagle Rare And after 9 years of aging it, they didn't make it to 10 years, but they decided it wasn't quite right, so they dumped it and added flavoring. We already did a duo review of it. Didn't quite taste like Eagle Rare. All right. Not quite with the sun here. It's like there. Sorry. It doesn't, from recollection, smell significantly different from the previous recipe, the blended bourbon. What you're getting is what you will get if you buy this. Now, I wanted to buy the regular bottle. It was $657 for a regular size bottle, $657, but they didn't have any, so I had to get the big one. It smells like ethanol, you know, corn liquor. And you get the bourbon, so you're getting the vanilla type bourbon, the barrel aged, the charred oak. It does smell a lot like Ancient Age, but that's aged 3 years. Doesn't mean they couldn't have gone an extra year on it, or with Benchmark. Who knows? I'm thinking it's a higher grade bourbon though. That they, I'm not saying Weller or Pappy Van Winkle, but one of theirs that they sent off. And I could be totally wrong. Like I said, this could be specifically made. They could have bourbon specifically made just for this. So yeah, that's what you get. The vanilla, the caramel, a little caramel, candy corn, charred oak, a little FedEx, a little honeysuckle nectar. All right, let's go with the taste. Cheers. Charred white oak. I say lightly charred white oak. Really, it doesn't seem like a heavy char. Maybe a number 2 char. Number 3. I don't know. Like mid-range. Yeah, 2 or 3. Because I think there's 4 char levels, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 is the alligator char. Corn. Bourbon. Makes sense. The charcoal, the vanilla, a little bit of that nectar. It's just mostly just like regular bourbon, you know. It's not anything exotic or nasty like you might think. It's just like regular kind of light bourbon. Like it tastes very light. 80 proof, that's light as it is, the lowest you can go. They only had 1 bottle left over there at Total Wine. But maybe the other one's sold because it's popular or something. I see this over there at Dorgnac sometimes. Mathern's has it. I'm going to see if Mathern's has the previous recipe. I think I saw some of the old bottles over there. I'll pick it up, do a challenge, you know, between the previous and the current recipe. Medium body. Medium long finish. Any bad bite? No. Any harshness? No. And when my friend David first tried it in the duo, he was like, oh, and he was really upset about it. He thought, oh, it's just bad, you know. But he kept sipping on it, and he was like, no. By the time we got to the end of the review, he was like, it's good. I said, well, see. Yeah, it definitely has that Buffalo Trace house style to it, just at a lower end, you know what I mean, like simplistic. But if you're not too picky and you could tolerate just like basic things and simple things, probably gonna like it. I'll score it I like the vanilla note. I'm gonna go 88 B plus. It's very good, and for the price, it's really extremely very good. I was on the phone once. I called them from time to time, Sazerac, which every time they answer, they're in Frankfort, Kentucky, and I say, where am I? Who am I? You know, where are you located? They say, oh, Buffalo Trace. Sometimes they just answer the phone saying that, Buffalo Trace. But I said, I asked the guy, I said, well, what's the deal with I see all these products with natural flavor. They even have tequila with natural flavors added, rum with natural flavors added, the bourbon, and maybe other things. This was last year. He said, well, about 5 years ago, they started adding that to all their, he called it low-end products, to try to smooth them out, which I guess they found that they were a bit harsh, not maybe too palatable, but by adding the flavor in it, made them a little nicer. And sales seem to be good on all their stuff, you know, like the Bandolero, tequila, the rum, Kings Bay rum. This, so yeah, I guess if they're making money, what the heck? But he said, I don't know what flavoring they're using, what flavorings, because this says natural flavors, not flavor. So it's more than one type. He said, I get the feeling, he said, I work for the company, they don't tell anybody what they're using. He said, but to me, it seemed like they're using vanilla. You know, but, you know, it's all just guessing. It's like when people get on there talking about, oh, this is using their #1 mash bill for, you know, whatever product, Eagle Rare or something. And I'm saying, well, they don't release their mash bill. It's secret, right? Oh yeah, but this website said they use it. Oh, where'd they get their information from? Oh, well, this guy wrote a book, the whiskey catalog. Where'd he get his information from? Oh, he talked to a guru. He had insight on that. Okay, well anyway, so Les Bon Temps Relais, a B plus, believe it or not, for that price. And I remember when some of the Sazerac real cheapos were $12.99 for the handle, like the old Tom Moore. Tom Moore. That's from 1879. Tom Moore. That still says straight bourbon on the bottles. Kentucky Tavern, when I bought that liter bottle, it was straight bourbon whiskey, but I noticed the new Kentucky Tavern bottles say bourbon whiskey with natural flavor. Now I remember that, yeah. So they changed that because probably it's cheaper to do it or something, I don't know. All right, thank you for watching this video production, and I'm going to end this review by saying, Les Bon Temps Relais, y'all go to Frankfort, Kentucky and tour the Buffalo Trace Distillery. I've done it, and it's a great tour.